Google Chrome. Hello everybody and welcome to what round are we at? Round 20, I don't know why I went blank completely. I wasn't thinking of anything. Of the SLR T1 League, with the championship already done. Oh my god, Milix has already left. Hopefully he can rejoin. Obviously it's a friends only session, so he should be able to get back in. Round 20 here today, with a few different names on the grid from last week. Obviously after whatever last week was, I've had to make a few changes, and that's what we have done to provide 17 drivers today. We've got a lot of the usual drivers. We've got some tier 2 drivers with us today. Namely, one of them is Dallas, who's just starting his lap. We'll go on board with him, I suppose. We've also got Parrish, obviously, who's done the odd race for us in T1. McRider, and Tim Hall. And we've also got Zert as well, and Robin. Yes, well, pretty much all of them. No, we've still got Surface and etc. Obviously, Calca's left the league after last week. After the championship went out, it's basically the same as last season. This time around, I'm not going to go chasing after him. That was his choice. That's not my problem anymore to be dealing with. But interestingly enough, everybody's gone for the softs except for two. Tim Hall and Parrish have gone for a different start to this qualifying session. But with 3 sets of softs, you should be able to do 3 runs easily on the faster side. Here comes Dallas to the line. Will he be able to get firmly into them 108s? Yeah, 108.3. That's a nice time to be starting with. Surface beats that by a couple of tenths. McRider's a bit further off for 0.5. Mumble Robbins at the moment. I'm kind of missing everything. Here goes Dario to the line. He's invalidated his lap, so he's going to start a new lap, I think. We've got Zert and Robbins coming to the line, and here we go out. Zert's on an out lap, and here goes Robbins. I think he might have invalidated actually, because he hasn't actually done a lap. We've got Messina coming to. He's invalidated. Trying to predict everything. We're going with Zert. Zert's a very, very quick driver in T2 when he's turning up. But he wants to give T1 a go today to see what his pace is up against. Lots of Messina, who's from racers, Dario, Surface, Milix. Could provide a good race. Obviously Milix has lost his first part of qualifying due to him being stuck in the pit lane. With Zert going around the middle sector with the hairpin. Obviously lots of hairpins around this track. The whole track is basically, the whole middle sector is just a hairpin really. About 4 or 5 hairpins in there. It wasn't very creative, but it makes for a good track because of the undulating corners. We've got Dario, who's gone a little bit quicker than Surface by just under a tenth of a second, 700ths. As Zert heads to the line now, will he be able to take that? No, it's only a 0.3, but he gets in P3. Which is nice to see. We've got Blunt coming in down there in P6. We've got CYP starting his lap. And Messina going to provisional pole with a 107.9. So nice start to Messina. Obviously we're expecting the track to improve later on in the session. We've got Carlsbury. I'm not expecting too much from him. He hasn't done any practice, because he didn't really message me until a few moments ago. Apparently he's gone purple in the middle sector. Like I said with Turbo yesterday, I won't believe that too much. I don't know if there's a problem with the track or something, or it just shows you a personal best. Because obviously it'll be his personal best. But here comes Carlsbury to the line, and you can see it's nowhere near. Even though we had a purple sector. But here comes Connor to the line, someone else who's going to be in the mix, and it's a 0.4 for Connor. We've got CYP out there going around on a lap. Is anyone else at the top of the order out there on a lap? But Surface only down in P3 at the moment. We've seen this many times though. Connor's out there on our lap. Yeah, so we're on board with CRP. He's the only one really on our lap who's invalidated it. So that's pointless. We've got Danny out there on the soft tyres, matching his Renault quite nicely. So I suppose we'll go on board with Danny. He's invalidated it. Okay, and everyone else is going to come into it. CIP is retired. I reckon he's binned it again. Somewhere along the lines of the lap. But, yeah, interesting start to qualify. Messina and Dario ahead of Surface. And Zert just in behind, 3.5 tenths behind to begin with. But there's going to be a fight on the hands, that's for sure. Especially in race pace. But we've got Surface out there starting a lap, so we'll go on board with the Renault driver. He's the first person to start his second stint in qualifying. Just using that third gear to get the turn in, and just about keeps on track. If you run wide there, you get your lap invalidated, and obviously running right onto the curb here as well on the exit. But he's using fourth gear, which keeps the car behaved. And he got really nowhere near the curb, and you're using that first gear, spamming through the gears. That's the thing I don't like. I don't like where you just spam through the gears just to get a bit of turning and a bit of extra pace. But we'll see if he's going to go even quicker. He does go purple. So what will his last few corners be like as he's come across the line? I'm expecting it to be a mid 107, the pole time. Dario says he can do it, apparently, but we've heard that before. But here goes Surface, and he goes just a little bit quicker than Messina, not by much. We've got Dario starting a lap in his Red Bull. Also McRider trying to hold on to the slipstream. McRider improved to a 0.1. He's actually just done that lap, so fair play to the McLaren driver. On board with Dario's a little bit down in his first lap. Gets on the curb a little bit, but gets away with it, isn't in the wall. And now he's going through the middle sector, holding on to the car as much as he can. So here's another long hairpin type corner, and then there's another hairpin. It's like being slapped repeatedly. I saw a word I used yesterday. You think you've had enough of it, and then there's another one, there's another one, there's another one, and you're just getting slap, slap, slap. As we head around the final corner, he's done a PB in the middle sector. Robbins was retired. But here goes Dario to the line. Will he be able to get provisional pole away from the RT7? Now he comes into the pits. Maybe he knows something I don't. Anyone else out there on anything significant? We've got Messina. No, he's backed out. We've got Zert out there at the moment. I don't think he's gone purple, but he's improving by a little bit. Maybe he had a bad middle sector. But he might as well finish his lap. So he's going to come to line. Will he be able to get close enough to the top? He has improved to a 0.2, but still 3 tenths off provisional pole. We've got Millix down there in P6 at the moment. He hasn't had a fantastic run in qualifying, but at least he set a lap this time round. And then we've got 0.4, we've got Connor and Blunt. So these two are really together at the moment. The qualifying is very close, half a second down to P9, and then after that it's a little bit unrepresentative. Probably the people who haven't practiced. So it's really, really close. So really it's anyone's game, really, and it's nice to see. We've got Blunt now off in the distance. As we're heading up the hill, 50 metre board, 6th, 5th, just getting the turn in, not running wide. It's a nice line by Connor. I wonder if Messina's out there on the lap. He's behind Connor, so we'll stay on board with him. As he keeps it nice and tight, well, that's a nice line. And will he do a PB? I wonder through this middle sector. Yeah, there it is. Immediately gets beaten apparently, unless it just went off really quick because there's a yellow flag. But here comes Connor to line. We don't know how good this lap is, but we'll know as soon as he crosses the line. It's a 0.2, so it makes it even closer. But no one's really getting close to the surface. I don't know if the track conditions have anything to do with that. We've got Messina coming to the pits. Yeah, but it's very close indeed. We've got Blunt out there on a lap. A lot of people are on out laps. I think Blunt's furthest way round. Soft tyres. Also expecting a little bit more from Tim Hall, who's a little bit further around than Blunt, so we'll stay on board with the Mercedes with that nice green helmet going through this long. And you're just waiting to put the power on all the time. He's dripping it on slowly, and there it is. That's not slowly. And that's the end of his lap, really. Just one mistake can cost you tenths, and tenths around this track are a lot of time. The more like seconds. As we head around the final corner, will he be able to put in a decent time anyway? A competitive time? The answer to that is no. Blunt actually improved. I'm going to plug in my headset because it's dying. To a P7 with a 0.2. So we've got a lot of guys around the same pace. Because even down into like P9 Dallas is half a second off. Less than half a second off pole. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. We've got Dario coming around the final corner. Is that Surface? No, Surface is diving into the pit lane, giving up with that lap. We've got Dario coming around the final corner. He's going purple. But how good is this lap from Dario? Can he get P1? Can he? Will he? He does. And that is a standout lap of 0.6 for him. We had McRider going round behind him. He's done a 108.0. 4 tenths off of Dario, but yeah, that definitely puts the cats amongst the pigeons and sets a new benchmark. As Milix has invalidated his lap. Anybody else out there? We've got Zert on an out lap. We've got Blunt who will be coming to the pits. Milix has invalidated it, and then we're looking towards the rear of the field. Tim Hall invalidated. I don't know why he didn't jump in the pits there for fresh tyres, but his decision. We've got I think AJ's not going to do a lap, it seems. Maybe he just looked at the times and thought, maybe I'm not beating that. I mean, Carsbury's time is beatable at that 0.8, over a second off pole position. We'll go on board with Milix, unless Messina's a bit further around. No, we'll go on board with Milix, and we'll see if he can do anything. He's got a personal best in the first sector, as the racing point driver, who is known for either pole or bust strategy. Or win or bust. He's the most, let's say, inconsistent, that's the word, not inconsistent, inconsistent driver I've ever seen, pretty much. Either wins or DNFs, really. But he's trying to rectify that. Going through the middle sector now. He's currently about 7 or 8 tenths off pole position, but he's gone purple first and middle sector. He lost it a little bit in the last corner. So I'm not expecting him to challenge Dario's time, but possibly even P2 is on the cards if his lap is good enough. As he comes to the line, oh, that's very close. 107.7 for Milix Jr. and Messina does a 0.8, just following in behind. Next is Zert to the line, 108.0 for Zert as well, 4 tenths off Dario though. Exactly, well, just over 4 tenths off. And yeah, Dario was putting a really good lap there, and we're struggling to beat that. Anyone else on the lap? I think everyone's going to go for one more lap. It looks like it's getting cloudy, so maybe it's going to rain, possibly, by the end of this session. As according to Danny. Danny is the web forecast man. He always comes in the chat and actually lets me know what's happening. So it's going to rain in the race, which is probably why people like Robin, CYP have given up on this. And it could make for an interesting race. Surface would be slightly disappointed he's down in P4. It's a good lap, don't get me wrong. It's not bad, but he's 3 tenths off pole position at the moment. He's improving by 2 tenths in the first sector alone though, so that's getting him within range of Dario. As pits, so that might be the end of his qualifying. I think Surface is the man on the move. We've got Dario on an out lap and a McLaren of McRider. Is that the final corner? Yeah, he's just getting ready for his lap. So the person to really be watching is Surface. He's give himself half a chance of Light rain 45 minutes in. That's the end of the race, isn't it? I thought that's after the end of the race. 45 minutes? What am I thinking? But here goes surface to line. And that is provisional. Wow, that is pole position. Unless Dario can do something about it. That's half a tenth clear of Dario. We've got McRider out there as well. He was the next to really start his lap. We've got actually Connor is quite far around as well. So maybe there's a few people further away around the track. We've gone board with Connor. He's going purple, so maybe the track evolution is starting to come right now. This is when you'd expect it. With a minute to go of this session. It looks a really cold track out there now, which tends to mean it's a quicker track. As he's coming to the line, and that's a 0.9 for Connor, only P5. Dario's coming around the final few corners. We've got anybody coming to the line. We've got a McLaren of McRider, who is a long way off. And then we've got the Red Bull of Dario, who's next to the line. He's a long way off as well. He's starting a new lap, I think. I think he gave up on that one. They've got the Renault coming into the pits. I think that is Surface calling it a day. We've got a Mercedes out there. Oh, there's one. And another one come across the line. I think that was Tim Hall. With the Alpha of Carlsby has gone out on the medium for some reason. But he improved on his time. And they're coming thick and fast, and I'm missing them all. Messina's come to line to start another lap. We've got the Haas of Zert, who improved by 2/10 but invalidated it, so he's going to go for another one. We've got Danny coming to the line, I think. And he is just starting a lap as well. And Skin Up just in behind. As they're falling like flies at the moment. Dallas will not complete this one, so that's the end of his session. Surface has called it a day. Got Zert out there who wants to improve his time. McRide is spinning. He's coming into it. It's raining now. Milix is round. And Dario is going to come down. He's 2.5 hundredths down. Has he got anything more in the lap? No, he's calling it a day. And the only person out there on a lap is Zert, and he's half a tenth up. But with it raining, does he have the grip to finish the lap? Everything suggests to me that he won't. But you never know. I suggested it a little bit earlier, even 3 minutes ago, that it could rain at the end of the session. But here comes Zert to the line. And he did improve, and he just outdid McRide in the end. Real close. But that's him in P6. And yeah, it was a close qualifying, really. In truth, there was a few guys out there that could have taken. Milix put in a really nice lap in the end. Very close. Milix, Dario and Surface really the main contenders. And then you've got like Messina, Connor just in behind. And then you've got the Zerts and Dallas and things like that. I have a feeling Zert could have done better than that 0.8, because he's been running up front in a lot of the T2 races, and 3.5 tenths to Surface. I think he could have done better. But yeah, it's close qualifying. Top, let's say 11 within a second. Nice to see. 3 people not even setting a time though, so I think people like CYP could have been in within a second easily. AJ, if he'd probably done some practice, maybe. Robbins, who knows? I'd like to think so though. 0.5, yeah, something along those lines. But it makes for an interesting race. It really does. I don't know who's going to win. I'm not even going to try and predict it, because Surface may bottle the start. I mean, he's starting on the outside of the track. It's not going to rain at the start, from what Danny's saying, but it will rain mid-race, which will throw a spanner in the works. It's the first race this season that's really had rain in T1. Danny famously does well in the rain for some reason. That is unknown to me or anybody else, because his drive pace is nowhere. He's just driving normally. Maybe this will be one of his races, we don't know. I mean, he won a Tier 1 race, USA. last season? Maybe the season before. I think it was last season actually. It wasn't long ago. Can't remember. Too long ago. But definitely won a USA race, and he was challenging in a Canada race last season, I believe. As well. But as we go on the formation lap, it's overcast with the threat of rain. This should be a very interesting race for me to be commentating on, Nano 47. And yeah, I'm hoping for a bit of action today. Unlike we had in USA, we might as well have not even turned up. Might as well went to sleep. I was debating commentating that one, to be honest, but this one looks exciting to me. It has all the makings of a great race. There we go. But to run down your grid order, we have VRT Surface, your Season 7 and 6 champion, back-to-back champion, on pole position today, with Dario just in behind in P2. He'll be pushing them away. He's not afraid to make an overtake, that's for sure, and he's definitely got the pace. But has he got it in the wet conditions later on? I don't know. We've got Milix in P3, who's, from what I know of him, he isn't great in the rain, but he's definitely better in the dry. With Messina in P4, the Finn. The flying Finn, really, of the grid. Ugh. Yawn. We've got Connor P5. Who has won multiple races this season, has every opportunity to win this one if he has a nice start. We've got Zert P6, and McRider P7, Dallas P8, Blunt P9, both the Mercedes of Tim Hall and Persh P10 and 11, Colsbury P12, Skinup P13, Danny P14, AJ 15, CIP 16, and the Haas of Robin starting dead last, as we are looking to line up the hill. It's one of the more difficult starts of the season. If you're at the top of the hill, you're going to get a much better start if you're at the bottom, because you just have to go all the way up the hill, and it's just extremely difficult to get momentum off the line. A lot of wheel spin with the trajectory of the straight. But here we go to 5 lights, and it's all out, and away we go. Dario gets a fairly bang average start. Surface got away well, it seems. Looking into turn 1, there's a little bit of contact further back in the field. No one's around. Skinup's had a bad start from the get-go. Zert has got away from ahead of Messina, who's had a bit of a shocker. So Zert's up into P4, Messina behind Connor as well. 2 McLarens, we've got side by side with McRider, and Dallas is on the inside. Oh, he's going back into the field. Oh, and there's a CYP out, AJ and Danny, and I'd be very surprised if there's not a safety car in this, and there is a safety car, and that means Parish can't make the move on Carlsbury. But yeah, that gives us time to recollect our thoughts and think about what happened there. I mean, I think that who was it? It was Dallas that caused that incident. Obviously crashed out. He got on the grass on the inside, got flicked back out onto the track so he didn't crash into the inside of the wall. Hit CYP, who span face first into the wall. It wasn't his fault, he couldn't do anything about that. It's one of them incidents really that it's just unlucky, and then a few people got caught up, but lucky for the people that are still alive. So Danny got involved in that, so he'll probably be in the pit lane unless he's got no front wing damage. He is. AJ and Robbins all got involved. I think Skinup avoided it, but it's also time for them to maybe strap on the medium tyres and go slightly longer for us. We'll have a look what the tyre compounds are. We've got Carlsbury on the mediums. Robbins have gone hard. I mean, he's expecting... I mean, the mediums can go, as proved by yesterday's A1 race, if you'd have watched it, a very long way in this race. The hard tyres are obsolete, really. They can go... Well, Yegerson took them 33 laps yesterday. So 30 laps. You're telling me they won't be in a rain until lap 35. There's no point, really. But we'll run back down the order as we're heading around the safety car, the beautiful Mercedes safety car, with Surface, who maintained his lead. He won't be particularly happy about this because he had a really good start. With Dario just in behind. Milix, the best person to have the best start really, is is Zert in P4. He made up 2 positions on that opening lap with Connor P5, Messina P6, McRider P7. We've got Blunt P8, Carlsberg P9, 2 Mercedes, Skinnup, Robbins, Danny and AJ still left in the race. Yeah, but this could be a very interesting restart. Who will be caught napping? There will be somebody. I can feel it. There's going to be some action. It's turn 1. And I fancy Zert. I really do fancy Zert in this race. He's made a nice start so far. It shows his qualifying pace wasn't exactly representative of his race pace. But he's got a long way to go in this race. Connor will be hoping he can make some gains, and Messina will be angry, to say the least. He's probably picked up Calcuta's car in the unlucky stakes. Just waiting for his disconnection. And then he's on par, really. Got McRider as well, so they're all ready to go. We've got yellow flags out obviously for the safety car, explaining that on the track map. Everybody's together. I'm expecting the safety car light to go out, and we'll be away. So interesting for the people that don't really follow F1. When that light at the top of the flashing light at the top stops flashing, it means the safety car's coming into the pits, and we can get on our way. And I'm expecting into the last corner. That's usually when it does it. That's what it did yesterday. And I spoke with Turbo yesterday. There's a very high chance of safety cars, and there's one already here. There was one in tier A1 yesterday, and there we go. The light stops flashing, all the lights are out, and now it's up to Surface to decide when he goes. Obviously he's got to wait for that safety car to jump in the pit lane first, but until that safety car line he can decide, as Danny tries to gain a little too much of an advantage by corner cutting. And yesterday it caused havoc in the pack, but Surface has made a nice clean overtake. Zert has been caught out on the restart. Connor heads it around the outside. Zert's got a little bit of a tap from the McLarens who are going side by side. And Messina has not really done a lot there, but it looked like he would at some point, because Zert had a shocker of a start. And McRider is going to be looking at the rear of that McLaren, but not close enough. Millix is very close to Dario as well, but not really able to make a move. And yeah, it's very close. Here goes Carlsberg, as he can head it round the outside. Not quite close enough. Needs to be really side by side to make that move. Danny is making his way through the field, and oh my lord, that would be optimistic by Danny, going for Tim Holland skin up in one fell swoop. Looking further forward, anyone going to go anything in the hairpin? I don't think so. But staying on board with Messina, and yeah, it seems to all be one big slipstream train at the moment. But heading into turn 1, it looks like Zert is definitely close enough to Connor to start thinking about an overtake. I mean, 2/10, a bit of slipstream, that's going to help him along his way. Oh, look how smooth that is into turn 1 by Zert. Oh, it was so smooth, and then it went all wrong as Blunt's got past McRider, and Parrish and Tim Hall are having a bit of a battle. So McRider is now down into P8. We've also got Tim Hall, the 2 Mercedes, down in P10, 11. You don't see that very often, going side by side. And don't forget there's rain coming in this race at some point, supposedly. And I can't help but think Carlsberg and Danny have gone for the right tyre. Looking further forward, the battle for the front of this race is going to get interesting. Connor is starting to drop off of Millix just a tad, but also Millix is finding himself a little bit of no man's land, because Dario is pulling away from him as he's trying to put pressure on Surface to make a mistake. Obviously with that DRS, the double DRS as well, it promotes overtaking a lot, so we're just waiting for that DRS to be opened. At the end of this lap I think it will. I'm expecting it. Surface sets the best lap. No, maybe in the next lap, just to give him half a chance of pulling away. Millix is outside that DRS range already. Looking better back in the field. We've got Carlsbury and Tim Hall basically the closest battle at the moment. Danny, who's unable to get past Parish at this point. He got past Skin Up though, so it's proving their medium tyres are lasting quite well. Further forward, Dario is really putting pressure on Surface. He fancies this, as Millix has picked up his penalty. And that's a beautiful camera angle. I wish we had more scenic camera angles like this, going round both of the hairpins. Oh, Dario, you can see that, just ran too much curb, and it unsettled the front end of the car. He just needs that DRS to make his move, really, because he seems quick enough. Same with these guys. Millix doesn't... I don't know if he's overheated his tyres or something. There's the DRS. Dario is not close enough yet, but here goes Connor and Millix, and that is an easy move for him. Making a now, I think Zert will fancy his chances on this next straight, although he's compromised his line. But for the lead of the race, not quite. Dario needs to save his DRS a little bit. Got into sector 1. AJ has retired from the session in turn 1. It could bring out VSC, possibly. Another safety car. So that bunches the pack right up. Connor will be ecstatic because that gap is now closed. And will anybody go for the pit lane now on lap 6? As we get our second safety car this race, which means meh. It's going to be a bit boring. But it bunches the pack back up. Will anyone go for the mediums and decide that they'll get them to that rain period better? Oh yes. Oh yes. The top 4 do. Zert carries on. In fact, everybody pretty much, as he wants to get rid of them soft tyres. And this could be make interesting reading in the pit lane. Will anyone get held up? Oh, I thought Surface did. Oh, that was close. I don't think they did. For the people that carried on, Carlsbury, Danny, who made that stop early on, that has done him a trick because he's basically jumped them all. So that's strategic masterclass from Danny. And also, let's say Carlsbury is in a good position. Depends how long they can set them soft tyres this rain period. And will Surface struggle to get through the traffic? Even like the likes of Robbins, is even in the hard tyres, is not a bad position to be in. So yeah, they'll be fairly happy at the moment. 10 minutes till the rain period. I think them soft tyres might, I don't know. I mean, if that's because Carlsbury's leading for some reason. I don't know how. 10 minutes till rain. It doesn't look like it's 10 minutes till rain, I have to admit, Danny. But Jeff's never wrong, I suppose. But obviously, with another lap of the safety car, like, the softs will last longer because they're not actually pushing them. But they will lose temperature. That's important. And that's what I think Zert is looking for here, is that they've screwed the strategy. I mean, Skin Up's decided to get rid of the soft tyres and pick up a speeding penalty. I mean, Carsby could win this. Just gonna put that one out there. I mean, Surface has to get back to Robbins, Danny, Parish to get to Carlsbury. The top 2 shouldn't really be a problem for Carlsbury, because if he just sticks to the rear of them, then he can just get a bit of DRS, a bit extra lap speed. But they're on the soft tyres, so they should be pulling away, really. This is very interesting. Which strategy is going to pay out? I mean, It's getting a bit dark now. I can sort of understand why the sun's going away. The safety car will be in at the end of this lap, I believe. Who will win? I mean, it's anybody's guess. McRider's got very close to Zert though. But Dario went for the softs. I think that is the right move. If he was going to pit, that's the tyre to go on if the safety car is going to come out soon. Because if you think 20th lap 23 had been out by then, the rain would have been out by then, and he's got more pace on surface on the mediums. So I understand why the soft tyres have come out. Safety car in this lap. So Zert, who's not a stranger to leading races, is a stranger to leading T1 races. So surface gets very close to Robbins. He's ready to go, and I think Robbins is in a fairly precarious situation here because he's going to get gobbled up by everybody. I mean, Messina's not even in the points anymore. But here we go. We are all going, and Surface has got a bit of a shocking start. Zert has got an absolute slipstream train. Here goes McRider around the outside of turn 1, going for the lead of the race, by the way. But Zert keeps his position. McRider picks up a penalty and loses the back end for good measure, which allows Carl's to be passed. Danny isn't able to take advantage. Parrish, has he got ahead of Surface? I don't know where Parrish has come from, really. I thought it was further back than that. As side by side up the hill, and Carlsbury's got front wing damage. If you didn't know, you can just see that end plate there. There goes McRider going the up and under, up and under. Dario's got past Parrish as well. And look at this for a train. Wow. But it's allowing Zert to go, because he's 1.7 seconds in the lead already, which is a big gap. And Surface and Dario and all these are just all in the traffic, and it's going to clog them up. And here goes Surface round the outside, Dario to the inside. This is for, let's say, provisional of the second race, lead of the race. I don't really know who's in the lead. It could be Zert, it could be Dario, it could be Robbins, it could be Danny, you know, it could be anybody. Don't ask me. Surface will be going back with DRS. Around the outside goes Surface, will be able to hold it. He's going to brake later. Dario holds the inside line though. Oh! And Parrish was on the inside of Surface, that's for sure. But we're going to forget about that. We've got Danny and Carlsbury going side by side pretty much. And it will be only a matter of time before Danny gets past because he's got front wing. We've also got Robbins getting overtaken by Dario finally. And that puts a car between him and Surface. Now looking at Danny. Oh, he's hit the rear. Has he lost front wing? I think he got away with it. He has. We'll be pushing Danny around now. Oh, there he is down the inside. And that is opportunistic to say the least. But he's made the move. He's forced Carlsbury into making that difficult. But the double slipstream from Dario might be a dangerous combination. But Surface has definitely lost out. His strategy is not working particularly well. But here comes Messina on them soft tyres. Look how quick them softs are. Messina was in 11th. He's worked his way through the field to get to this position. He's gonna... How much to the inside do you have to go? He's gonna... Oh my lord. He's gonna lose the car, isn't he? No, he isn't. Wow. He went 3 wide, basically, to the pit wall. That's how much commitment Messina shows and how much he believes in that Surface would leave him room. Surface is going to give this one up. And now it's him down into P8. He's lost position. He hasn't overtaken... I think Carlsbury's left the session, by the way. Or has he? He's just inside Dario. Maybe he hasn't left the session. He was ghosting though. Maybe he just paused it and let Dario go. But Dario's now on the rear of Danny. Danny's in a slightly different position, because if he stays ahead of Dario, he's leading the race. And in wet conditions, I fancy Danny today, to be honest. Just going to put that one out there. But Zert is 2.6 in the lead. Will them soft tyres be able to last to the rain period? When's the rain going to come? They said 10 minutes, but that's very soon. Danny has got a bit of a lag moment there. Connor's battling with Millix. Here goes Dario. Oh, Danny is... Where is Danny? Is he ahead? Is he side by side? I think they're side by side. Dario overtook off the track. I think he's going to give that position back, or is he? Or is it just overspeed? I can't tell. I'm on board with Messina anyway to view this battle. I think Dario's going to make that move. Here comes Danny on the switchback. Look at that for a switchback. Danny's not going to back out with this one, but I think with the inside line, Dario's got this one. Yes, nothing stupid there. Milix and Connor have been going side by side for basically a lap. As they're looking at... Surface has no pace on themselves. We've seen this before, on certain tyres, Surface just lacks. And in certain situations he just bolts. It's really weird. I don't know if he struggles on these yellow tyres. Because I just remember these yellow tyres not being very good for him. Maybe this is the reason. Because he can't overtake Robin, and he's on hards. And I'm telling you, Robin is not the fastest of drivers. He's good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to start slinging him, but he's never going to win anything. He's like the skin up of drivers, let's say. But Robbins is caught behind Carlsbury as well, so probably with that DRS in from Carlsbury, that's helping him defend a little bit. So I'm not going to destroy Robbins too much on the surface. He's getting very close. Connor in behind, and then you've got Millix, Blunt, Tim Hall, Skin Up, and then Parish on his own. So all Surface has gone wide. They're going to come together? No, but he's going to keep to the inside. This well done opportunity. Surface is given the space to just hold it, but Connor's going to get that outside line, which has a little bit more grip, a bit more overspeed. And Surface is down to P9. I can't believe I'm saying this. He went from pole to P9 now. Obviously, depends on rain. Depends what happens here. Zert carries on for another lap. Ryder's kind of okay on his own. He's getting caught by Dario though. And Danny's keeping within that second, but he's been overtaken by Messina, who's also on them soft tyres. And them soft tyres are coming alive at the moment in these conditions. As Robbins... what is this? Connor has got past... obviously Surface, and now he's got past Robbins. Robbins is looking back at Connor down the inside. Oh my god, that is late. Oh dear. Connor is being destroyed. I think Robbins has kind of killed himself. He went too late on the brakes, hit the side of Connor. Connor got, yeah, he lost a bit of time, but he hasn't really lost too much, let's be honest. He hasn't lost a position or anything. It was close. Surface nearly got smashed into. I'm surprised nobody got damage or anything from that. But it's very close. Looking further forward towards the front of the grid. McRider is getting a bit of a train now. And Zert is around 4 seconds in the lead. But can he get them tyres? I mean, McRider's given up on that one. When's the rain? I mean, Zert's going to be 4 seconds lead, but if he has to pit again, that's pointless, really, isn't it? I mean, let's say gap to leader. Fastest lap Dario at the moment by 10th. I mean, McRider's last now. And we'll see how much he's lost by. He'll probably overtake Parish. It'll be P13 if he pit. So he's got to make them last. He's been on 15 laps. I don't know how much longer he can go. Maybe somebody else knows how long these tyres go before they blow. There's Surface and Carlsbury. Oh my. How has Surface saved that? That is unbelievable car control. But I'm not gonna lie, Carlsbury was a bit naughty there, but here goes Millix trying to take an opportunity. Well, he's got one. I mean, Surface has been battered and beaten by Carlsbury. Oh, Millix, look at him with his slide. Zert pits, so his gamble hasn't paid off. It's going to rain soon or later, but not yet. Here he goes, Blunt on Millix, and then we've got Carlsbury being overtaken by Surface. And turn one, Surface gets that one done. He goes late on the brakes just to make sure Carlsbury doesn't do anything, I presume. Zert is down in P12. He's going to be well ahead of McRider's back in the pits. And he's retiring. Okay. So maybe he got front wing damage on the outlap or something. Desert's well down now, so he's not going to be in contention to win this race. He's there, look. In the background is Millix and Carlsbury are now going to duo battle. He's trying to hold on with that half a front wing. And I'm surprised he is, to be honest. And the lead now is between, would you believe it, Dario and Messina. Dario, has he won the race this season? I'll bring up the standings, I think, to answer that question. But Milik should really be getting Carlsbury now. In fact, Carlsbury doesn't fight it. He doesn't take a line at all through that little left-hander. No, Dario hasn't won a race. I don't think he's won a race in SLR, actually. This could be his opportunity. I don't know if he's got a penalty yet. Only one warning, so that's fairly consistent. And the cream is starting to rise to the top here. Millix is overtaking Carlsbury. Next is Blunt, then Tim Hall, then Skinnup, who's on the rear of this. And Zert, who's trying to catch up. He's 4 seconds off though. This is a while away, and I don't really know why I went mediums. I'd have went back to softs, unless he hasn't got any. Because it's going to rain. You can see the clouds. So I think Danny's right, but when is it going to rain? Seems to be later on in the race, and who will be better in the rain? Messina's keeping with that DRS, and that's important. Messina was well down even on Dario, so I think on this second stint we've got here, he's been the quickest driver, and he wants this win. That's for sure. He's made the opportunity. Yeah, overtakes when he's needed to. Millix. Carlsbury has dropped down to P9. He's disregarded that corner and deserved the penalty. He decided there wasn't a corner there to take him. Next is Skinnup. And then Zert, who's catching at a rate. He can still get some good points here. Zert, he just needs to insert the Zert, I suppose. I mean, he's not a million miles away from surface. It's just after that it might be a bit of a problem, and it's getting really dark now. I'm expecting rain probably even 2 laps away, judging by this. Danny is on the podium still, but obviously he's got penalties which will probably won't help him. Connor just in behind. Surface over a second behind Connor. Millix, Blunt, Skinnup, who's overtaken Tim Hall and Carlsbury. So I don't know if them two have come together. Has Tim Hall got damage? No. Carlsbury's just trying to get to the wet period, and Zert hit. Zert's already on the back of this train. He goes into turn 1. Oh my lord, I thought that was a bit late. Every time someone goes into turn 1 and there's just a car ahead of you, it's like, Punterino, here we come. But not on that occasion. Here comes Zert on Tim Hall. He's moving quick. There's the Haas driver to try and work his way through this. And there goes Tim Hall. Oh, good save. Just lost it on the grass there. There's some really nice saves in this. Obviously surface is definitely there. Drifted it all the way around this corner and kept in a straight line. And that shows just why he's the 2-time champion. He is. He was saving them situations. And could you ask yourself, could a Doan save that, or a Connor, or a Millix, or whoever, Dario? And it's difficult to answer that question because they haven't really been in that situation, but I'd be shocked if they did. But we're looking at this battle, and look at Skinnup is being gobbled up. Zert is going to take a bit more wider line, and these are going to be 3 wide into the next corner. With the double slipstream, Skinnup has 0 speed on the straight. Zert is going to follow Tim Hall around the outside. Did Skinnup get touched there? No, it looks like he got battered a bit. No, so I think Skinnup's happy with his P10 at the moment. Carlsberry's just dropped like a stone now. Conditions not suiting him at this point with that front wing damage. And there isn't really many battles out there. We've got Blunt and Millix and the lead battle. Watching Zert coming through the field as well. But after he overtakes Tim Hall, he's got a 4.5 second gap now to Blunt. Somehow. There was right in the rear of that train ahead of him, but it's kind of spread out a little bit. Everyone's found their ground, surfacing only in P5 at the moment as well. A bit of DRS. Can Zert get past Tim Hall? Maybe on that second straight. He's got to be patient. Not running that curve, and that is instrumental to an exit. As you can see, Tim Hall's all over the curbs, and you can see he's just lost the back end slightly, and that's going to be the difference between staying in that position and being overtaken. And Zert is going to move it around the outside. Tim Hall's going to be late on the brakes, but no to go. Oh, Tim Hall's round. Zert picks up a penalty. And the two Mercedes are having a bit of a dreadful day. Oh, and there's the rain. There is the rain. So now it's all about driver. How good are you in the rain? I mean, it's about driver anyway, but we've got a lot of people on different tyres here. I mean, Dario is on the limit with his tyres. He's got another like 2 laps, most. Danny can go a bit longer. Connor's caught up to Danny. And we've also got surface there. I don't think he's going to try too hard to defend that. But in the slippery conditions, Danny is definitely somewhat of a wet specialist. And it'd be interesting to see what his pace is like. This is the first race Danny's really been competitive in a while. He's only around the outside. Oh, now he got squeezed onto the grass by Connor. He was really assertive, but fair, just about. And we're going to see Zert close up to the rear of these Blunt and Millix, I think. With 13 laps to this race to go. And we're waiting to see when's the crossover point. We have that DRS to be disabled, that's usually crossover point. Will the front two get ahead as in start another lap before that crossover point becomes clear? That'll be interesting. When that crossover point comes into play, who will gain an advantage, the biggest advantage. Zert has gained half a second on this lap. On them fresher mediums. Should have probably went the soft route. But also, how long can these softs go? They can't go much longer. 16 laps is a long way. As in, I don't know. How long did the first lot of softs do? So we're looking at McRider, Zert. So he went to lap 16 with a safety car as well. When will these two have to really risk it for them intermediates? How many laps can they go? Can they go one more? Because that'll even make a difference. As Blunt is looking at Millix, and they carry on for another lap. You can see Dara is definitely saving his tyres. As Robbins gets past Carlsberry for P10. Oh, Carlsberry's sliding all over. Just waiting for that DRS to be disabled. Nobody's took the punt yet. And this is when you show really what kind of driver you are. Because Danny, on older mediums, is now keeping up with Connor, and before he was going to bolt off in the distance. So that kind of tells you about wet driving, really. What kind of driver Danny is. He's good in difficult conditions. As the first person for intermediates, Carlsberry is going to take the punt as Tim Hall gets past Robbins, P10. Further forward, front two. And I won't be surprised if they jump to the pits now, to be honest. And it's close to intermediates. No, one more lap. 18 laps and so. Will they get a puncture? Tyre wears nothing on this track. Anybody going for it? Not yet. Zert is close so much. A second now. Closer. He's now 3 seconds off. Blunt and Millix. And Blunt is very close to Millix. And also the type of driving you've got to do in these conditions has got to be different. You're just going to slide all over the place. Just finding the grip is important. Carsway is proving that the intermediates are not the right tires to be on. As he's, yep, you can tell. I think it's still a few laps away. The track's not getting wet enough at all. Danny can go another like 6 or 7 laps on the mediums, so he's going to be fine, whatever conditions. I mean, we've only got 10 laps to go in this race. Will it get wet enough for intermediates at all? Have we just been... I mean, the track is slower. There's no doubt about that. Carsway 6 or 5 second penalty for coming back into the pit lane and retiring. So we're left with 12 drivers in this race. And Dario has been overtaken by Messina. Oh, Dario's gone too deep. Or has he? He's got it stopped. Last time I thought he was going off into the distance. But Messina definitely got past on that straight. But here he goes again. In very difficult conditions. He's got found a way in the inside line. Oh dear. A bit of a wheel banging to say the least. Messina was a bit over optimistic on that one, but I think Dario was entitled to the position. Zert has gone intermediates. Has that DRS been disabled? I mean, I don't see any spray off the tyres, which is usually a good sign for intermediates. Zert has decided now is the time, and so did Skinnup. And there's the spray. So you can see the spray now. So is that the moment? I mean, they're going very slow. There's the DRS been disabled, and I've missed this. Because Zert is gaining a lot on Millix and Blunt all of a sudden. Dario and Messina both will pit now. There it is. Will anybody carry on? Connor's in. Oh my god, Danny thought about staying out. It wasn't until Connor came in that he decided. And I think Surface may get hold up in the pit lane here. As Messina, has he taken the lead of the race, or has he been hold a lot? We've got hold quite a lot there. Millet's got speeding in the pit lane. And Surface has been held and held and held. And the person who's going to gain out of all this is probably Zert. It's going to be fairly close with Millix. He went a lap earlier than everybody else for them. There's Blunt, there's Millix. I think Millix might get a position. Just. Or will he? Because here comes Overspeed. He's going to be defenceless, surely. Blunt online, Zert around the outside. And he's managed to get the position. That's a beautiful manoeuvre. Oh, both of them slided. They're expecting more grip there. Danny has dropped a long way off of Connor. Seems to... I don't know, where's these gaps come from all of a sudden? Is there an incident? Tim Hall is out. Parrish is only just coming back out of the pit lane, so will that be a safety car? Tim Hall's binned it on a straight, and Parrish has decided to call it a day. So, survival of the fittest at the moment. But Dario has gained time. A lot of time. So, and also Connor's gained time on Danny. And Blunt is all of a sudden in range. Zert's still like 3.5 seconds behind Blunt. Somehow. He must have got a really smooth pit stop because he was with Millix, and Millix is now way down, and Surface has had the worst of the lot because he had to get held. So he's down in P8, which it couldn't be any worse than where he is at the moment because of the gaps. We've only 10 runners left in this race. Yeah. It's gone slightly not the way I'd like this race to go, but hey ho. Looks like Dario is going to claim his first league race win in SLR. Finally. And he's drove a good race, to be fair. He hasn't done anything reckless. He hasn't done anything. It's all been calculated and worked out for him today. So I'll give him fair play to that if he holds on. Danny is not holding on too well. He's matching Blunt's pace. Millix is falling back from Zert. Zert's not really catching Blunt. So yeah, it's almost like they're all standing still. I suppose Blunt's catching Danny a little bit. Oh, got a new subscriber, thank you. Givery 1006 for your subscription. As Robbins has come back in the pit, I think he's retiring. He's gonna retire. He's gonna retire. Oh, he's gonna retire. As we have 9 runners left in this group. Jesus Christ. 8 retirements. Where has it gone wrong? And we only had 2 on the first lap, but since then it's kind of, they drop like flies. I think this will be one of Surface's worst result of the season. It's his joint worst result of the season. Germany, if he stays there. Got an incident sector 1 and 2. What will that be? Oh. Millix is coming in the pit lane. And Surface are coming in to retire the cars. Did them two come together? We've only got 8 runners in this race. Where is it all happening? Why have we got so many DNFs? Nine retirements. I mean, Dario's going to win, but it's going to be the most lacklustre win. It would be the most unfair way to win this race. Because he's generally done it on merit. That's the thing. He had the qualifying pace, he had the race pace, made the right strategies. Over everybody. Made the right moves. And it's going to be the most lacklustre win ever. Because of the amount of retirements there is. This is crazy. And then Messina will take the podium with Connor. And Connor will go ahead into 2nd place in the championship. No, joint 2nd place in the championship with Doan. But Doan, did he win more races? 3 races. Connor won 3. He won the exact amount of races. Oh no, Connor's got 4. So Connor will go up to P2 on race wins. We now have 7 people in this lobby left. Wow. Ten retirements. I never thought this Brazil race could go like this. I mean, we've got 1 battle. God forbid that goes to pot, but we've got that battle between. Also, Connor's closing on Messina a little bit. But got that 1 battle. We'll check the penalties. We'll do that. We've got Dario, who's got 1 morning race. Messina has 2 warnings. Connor has a penalty. Danny has 8 seconds. Blunt has 0. So Blunt won't even get P4 because the gap's too big. Oh no, Blunt will get P4 because the penalties are naughty. We'll check the Zert penalty situation. 1. Let's get up. We'll be pretty much finishing last regardless. 23 seconds. He'll take the 6 points though. And it seems that every time they get close they make a mistake to do anything. Seems like it's impossible. Well, 3 laps to go. It was an exciting race. The first half of this race was really, really good. The first 20-25 laps. And then the rain came down and yeah, nothing really happened except for lots of retirements. So really, we're now waiting for the race to end. Can't really expect anything really from this. I'm gonna fall asleep. Oh dear. Got another commentary after this as well. Got to do the tier 2 with Jose today, so hopefully we can have a nice commentary out of that. A lot of these guys will be racing again anyway. So using all the gear though. Zert is catching Blunt, but not by enough to do anything. And that would be for position if he caught him, but 3 laps to go. It's not happening, is it? Let's be honest. Look, Connor 6 tenths off of Messina now, so he's starting to put the squeeze on him. Finnish people usually like the rain, but I think Dario's done a really good job to maintain that 3.2 second gap. Just needs to bring it across the line in his Red Bull. How will that affect his championship? I mean, who's got the fastest lap? Obviously it's the people that finish that will get the fastest lap. Zert has got the fastest lap. Yeah. By a little bit actually. So that'll be that for that one. 25 points. 25 points for Dario. 187. Basically confirms in P5 in the championship, and that's all they can do. Pretty sure he got P5 last season as well. P5, P6. He's got 2 second places, 2 third places. Well, 3 second places, 2 third places, and lots of really crap results in between. But this will be his first win. And that sun is really in your eyes now. As we are heading on to the last lap of this race. Woo! And Connor still has a chance of Messina, but he'd have to make a mistake really. We're going on board with Dario, who's lost a little bit of time. He hasn't had a great first sector, but nothing really to be worrying about. As long as he doesn't pick up a penalty, he knows he will be winning this race. And he'll be extremely happy, I'm pretty sure. He's had a lot of stick, and not many people believe in him, especially like Russia incidents and things like that. Things that he knows he can definitely cut out of his game, that would make him a much more complete driver. But today was the complete performance. He defended well, he's taken his opportunities, he chose the right strategies, he's played it pretty damn perfectly. Could have probably pit on the intermediates last lap earlier, but except for that, he's played it very, very well. But here he is. Jelinas, I've got a dry sore throat, and I'll have to get that out after the race. But here comes Ryan, and the Red Bull of Dario is going to claim the Brazilian Grand Prix. well done to him on that, and he'll be extremely happy, as I am, for him as well. Messina claims P2 with Connor P3 with that penalty. This is our, how many different winners we had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 6th different winner this season. That's just a close championship. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but there we go. We're waiting for Skin Up to come to line. Danny finished P5 in the end, and Zert P6, with Skin Up coming home for P7. And that will put Skin Up, I think, back in P10 in the championship. But yeah, it was an interesting race for the most part. In the end, it just fizzled out a little bit. It's a shame, really. But yeah, this is the penultimate round of the SLR League Season 7. Next week is the final round, Abu Dhabi. We're hoping to end it on a high with a brilliant race. I will be here next week, commentating for you again. There's no worries there, I'm still in lockdown. And after that we can start work on Season 8, which I've promised to be the best yet. But today, it's all about Dario claiming that win. And he'll be extremely happy about that, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'll be joining Jose in about half an hour when I've had my dinner. And hopefully I can clear my very dry throat at this point in the race. Do my 3rd commentary of the weekend. Yeah, thank you everybody. I'm Nano57, and I'm out of here. If I can end the stream, probably.